Welcome YouTube world. I am live here at my in-person hypnosis certification in Las Vegas, and I want to give you a couple tips on how to get clear on your vision using some hypnotic principles. So this is actually something that I teach in our hypnosis certification to have our hypnotherapists help their clients get clear on their vision and on their dreams, because as the old saying goes, you cannot hit a target you cannot see. So let's dive in. So the first principle when it comes to getting clear on our vision and the steps and the behaviors that we want to take in order to get there is, number one, we need to state our goals the way we want. Okay. Now, what you often will find as a coach, as a hypnotherapist, is when people come to us, they're very stuck on what they don't want, right? So they come to you, they're like, man, I don't want to be overweight, or I don't want to be stuck in my job, or I don't want to have anxiety. And the challenge with constantly thinking about what we don't want is we get what we focus on. So our subconscious mind does not process the negative. So it doesn't process don't, can't, won't, none of that. All it processes is the statement that you're making as a picture or a symbol. So as an example, if I say, don't focus on the color green, all of a sudden my shirt gets much brighter, doesn't it? Well, that's because, again, the subconscious mind is not processing the don't. So if you're constantly thinking, I don't want to have anxiety, I don't want to be overweight, your subconscious mind is just processing want anxiety, want to be overweight. So what we have to do is we have to shift our focus from what we don't want into what we want. Now we do that by asking a very simple question, and that is this. If you're not, okay, insert overweight, anxiety, broke, whatever, okay, what are you? All right. So what this is doing is it's shifting our focus from what we don't want into what we want. So again, if you're not overweight, what are you? You're in shape. If you're not broke, what are you? You're abundant. If you're not having anxiety, what are you? You're feeling calm and relaxed. So begin to ask yourself, and if you're a hypnotherapist or a coach, when someone gets stuck on what they don't want, ask them, if you're not this, what are you? And then get the proper answer. Now, as a matter of fact, I want you to think about something you've been telling yourself that you don't want. And then I want you to ask yourself this question right now and think of the proper answer. Think of, again, what you want to go towards, not what you want to run away from. And then do me a favor as well, is type your answer in the comments. So type what it is you didn't want, and then type what we're actually going to focus on now instead. Okay. So the second thing that we want to get clear on, okay, is we want to get clear on, instead of the state that we want to feel, okay, we want to focus on our behavior. So let's take getting in shape as an example, right? Somebody says, I want to feel good, I want to feel confident, and those are all great things. However, the challenge is these are states, not specific behaviors. So what we want to do when we're installing suggestions in hypnosis or just coaching in general is we want to get the person to focus on the behaviors that they're going to do to achieve the state that they're talking about. So as an example, if somebody says, I want to feel good, what we would ask them is, how will you know when you feel whatever it is, good, confident, whatever, okay? Now a follow-up question is, what will you be doing when you feel blank? Matter of fact, do me a favor, guys, type these in the comments so I can pin them. And then also you can come back to this video and refer to it, and people can look in the notes to make it really, really easy. So again, what we're doing is, let's say somebody says, I want to be successful. Okay, that's fine. However, we need to start defining the behaviors of what's going to create that, right? So we would say, how will you know when you're successful? Well, I'll be making this amount of money, or I'll be doing this, or I'll be doing that, right? And again, what will you be doing when you feel successful? I'll be working out every day. I'll be meditating. I'll be doing, my business 10 hours a day, whatever. So again, we're getting the person to stop focusing on the state and start focusing on the behavior. Now, it's okay to insert that in hypnosis, right? You feel confident, you feel energized, you feel excited. And then you want to add, because you're doing this, 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 and this, okay? Now, the third thing we want to make sure that we do is go from general to specific, okay? So what I mean by this is we'll take the example we just used of being successful. So you ask a client, what are your goals? I want to be successful. Well, that's very broad. It's very general. And again, if you can't hit a target, you cannot see. So what we want to do is get from something being general to something being specific, okay? And we do that by asking who, what, where, and you can ask when, okay? And how, and here's a key word, specifically. So what this does is it gets people to stop from being global thinking, very big picture, and starts getting very granular, right? So again, who, what, when, where, how specifically. So how will you know you're successful? What will you be doing? When is this going to happen? Who will you be with? So we're taking something that's very general, very broad, and we're deducing it down. Because when we can start getting people emotionally attached to their vision, again, seeing yourself on vacation, you're in amazing shape, you're with your loved ones, you're in Hawaii, it's a year from now, and you're surfing or whatever. So we're answering all this, right? Who are you with? Your family. What are you doing? You're surfing. Where are you at? You're in Hawaii. When is this going to happen next year? How are you going to get there? By putting the work in your business. So do this process for yourself. Again, stop focusing on what you don't want. I don't want to be in debt, or I don't want to, I don't want to have anxiety. I don't want to feel insecure. Okay. If you're not insecure, what are you? Confident. Okay, perfect. Now we go from state versus behavior. Okay, how will you know when you feel confident? Well, I'll be standing tall. I'll be speaking confidently. I'll be owning the room, right? And again, what will you be doing, right? And again, getting general to specific. Now, again, it's okay to have the state. Hey, you feel good because you're standing tall. You're walking confidently. It's okay to say, hey, you're successful and this is what you're doing. Okay. Again, if you like this video, comment your favorite part, comment your goals and your vision after you've done this process, and also hit that like button. And for those of you who want to learn more about hypnosis, how you can hypnotize others, as well as hypnotize yourself for success in any and every area of your life, I have a free training down in the description that you can get access to. So go ahead and click the link down in the description and get access to our free hypnosis training now. We'll see you guys in the next video.